Hello fellow woodworkers, welcome to this week's edition of the Garage Workshop, and this week we're out of the workshop and on a road trip. So at this point I would normally give my introduction to this week's video, but unbeknown to me I'd actually knocked the GoPro sound off, so you can still see me talking but you can't hear what I'm saying, unfortunately. So for those of you that don't know, Maker Central is a show that's run every year in the NEC in Birmingham. It's a place where like-minded people can come together effectively. There are a number of stalls from woodworking companies, tool manufacturers, but it's more than just woodworking and DIY. There's a lot of fabrics, a lot of crafts, as well as just DIY tools. Each year they have a number of different celebrities, and this queue that you can see, which stretches quite a long way back, is for Colin Furze, who I've mentioned before in my YouTube channel. If you haven't checked out Colin's YouTube channel, I'll put a link in the description. It's amazing, and there is the man himself, but there were some other people I was interested in meeting too. The first of those was, of course, Peter Millar, who has been a massive influence on me and one of the reasons that I actually started the channel. I was very fortunate. I pinched 10 minutes of Peter's time. He was very generous with his time and gave me some great tips. And also Stuart from Proper DIY, who I also wanted to meet. Luckily, I had to change batteries on my GoPro after this, so the sound was restored. But what I'm explaining here whilst wandering around is just that I set myself some goals when I came. I wanted to see the Lumberjack stall because they had quite a big stall with a lot of their products displayed, and I also wanted to see the Axminster tool stand, as well as meeting obviously the two YouTubers. And there's me proudly saying that I just met Peter and got some freebies for him, which was excellent. But the key to visiting a place like this, I think, is to have a goal in your mind and set out what you want to achieve and how you want to do it. And when you've done those, you can then spend the time doing everything else. So that was my sort of plan of attack. Hence I caught Peter and Stuart early, because by the end they were really, really busy. So I made my way to the Lumberjack stand, and here you can see the table router, which is what I actually went for. I was very lucky because it was quite early on, and I actually got the guy to give me a demo, which I'll show you in a minute. But the stall, as it was laid out, was really good. I think pretty much everything that they had was there in one form or another. There's me just pointing that that's what I'd come to see. The other thing that really struck me was just the amount of people on the stand. It was hugely busy. So here I am having a touch and a feel. Off camera I did ask them, by the way, if I could, and it was at this point that I asked if I could have a demonstration. The whole core, the bed and everything on this is metal. The two red sides you can see there are steel, and the rest of the bed is aluminium, sort of toughened aluminium. That's me just asking for permission to film, but he's giving me the permission to film. So I had a good old interesting chat with the chap about the product, and as you can see, he's just running it through there. The thing that struck me was the low noise, which I know sounds ridiculous because you can't hear it, but it was very, very quiet in operation, certainly in comparison to my homemade contraption that I have in the garage workshop.
You've got one spanner, obviously you lift that up. I think it's that clip that's off me. And then you've got like a lock under here that you pull towards you.
Right.
And then obviously you raise it up. There's a lock underneath, a little catch that you pull towards you. And get it.
And that locks it in place.
And that locks it. You just keep your hand on it, and then you just loosen it yourself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You just loosen it, and then you can tighten it as well from underneath.
What's the bed? Is this made out of aluminium?
I think so. Yeah. Yeah. It's only. It's quite a sturdy.
Yeah.
It's much more sturdy than most tops that you normally get. You know what I mean? It is a lot more sturdy than most of them that I've seen.
What about the actual router that's inside it?
It's a bloody powerful little one, I tell ya. The good thing about it, you don't have to buy a separate one to put in. It's already in there already. You know what I'm saying?
And is it half an inch and quarter of an
Yes,
inch?
yes,
Both.
yes.
Brilliant. Right, thanks very much. Thanks for the demo.
Look,
One of the great things about coming here is you get to see some of the things that you don't know exist. So this is the Lumberjack lathe, the mini wood lathe. It's nice to see actually there's quite a few of their tools here at Lumberjack. Let's go and have a look at some of the others. This is the range of Lumberjack miter saws. This is the entry level one, making their way all the way up to the S305 DB. I should say, by the way, I'm not sponsored by Lumberjack. I just quite like their tools, pillar drill and their dust extractor. And I'm in the market for a dust extractor, so I might have a look at that. And there, of course, is my thickness of planer. I'll put a link in the description to that. This is their smaller folding table saw, which is a bit like my Rage one that I've got at home, their job site saw. There are two pillar drills, which I have to say, they look quite substantial. This is the other thing that I was looking at, which is their dust extractor, the 75 litre dust extractor. This is actually something that I'm going to potentially get at the garage workshop, because my dust extraction I think needs a bit of a review. Although it looks metal, it looks very plasticky, to be honest, and I'm not sure about the capacity of that bag. But like a lot of Lumberjack products, you know, you get what you pay for at the end of the day, and if it's a better solution, it's a better solution. Some more of their stuff. This is their benchtop thicknesser planer, which I have to say is a lot bigger than I thought it would. The only disappointing thing is all of the stuff you can see, this is all very thin metal, but all of the stuff you can see, like the buttons and stuff, is very sort of very weak plastic, which obviously isn't ideal. This is their dovetail jig. I was going to say, yeah, there's two of them. It's the dovetail jig device, which looks pretty substantial. The belt and disc sander, and now a selection of their tools, nail gun, drills, and all of their circular saws, reciprocating saws, etc. Now we have their range of band saws. Again, the way they've organised things, starting from the smallest, working their way up to their biggest model, which is the BS340, which is this one. Plenty of interest in the stand, as you can see. But again, with a sort of entry level and cheaper brand that Lumberjack are, you would expect that really. So one of the interesting things about Maker Central is the way it's laid out. There's a nice mixture of stands, and in between are things for you to do and see. This is actually the Axminster stand, and there were a group of sort of kids and teenagers who could come on and make stuff, and some of the things that they were cutting out were really, really complicated. The skill saws looked absolutely fantastic. So you got that little area, as you can see on the left, is a Dremel work zone. I was hoping to get in there, but didn't manage it, unfortunately. So this is the first number of Colin Furze drive-bys that you'll see in this video. So it's Colin Furze, who I mentioned in my YouTube channel before. There is the man, Colin, and it's cute to see him. Very, very popular person today. So these are some of the entries for the Scrapwood Challenge competition. That's fantastic. Look at the drawings on that one. Beautiful. Along with the picture of what it was before. It's fantastic. So this 39 was constructed from an old windowsill and a birch toilet lid. Look how fantastic that is. Amazing. It's a marble run. So not just woodwork, here is the sewing station, very popular, very popular with the kids. This was the Merkur stand, of course, who make the high-end hand sanders, really interesting but incredibly expensive. I haven't had any experience of using them, but very expensive, and some good places to buy wood turning tools as well. I did have a look but didn't manage to get any. The other great thing about Maker Central is just to see the demonstrations from experienced professional woodworkers, which was fantastic, and you'll know from my Parkside lathe videos that I certainly need some help, but I got some great feedback and great advice as well on my lathe. But it was just great to see some of the products that the professionals were making. So another of the stalls that I came to see this year is Trend. As I said, I'm in the market for a router table, and I've just had an interesting discussion with Lumberjack, which hopefully might help something. But let's have a look around the Trend store now. It's Trend's pocket hole device, like my one. This is the star of the show. Probably recognise him from his channel, the great Jimmy DeResta at the Meet the Makers. And then again, another big queue to see Jimmy. Jimmy's the sort of star name at today's show. He's actually doing a session on the main stage later on. As hopefully you can see, it is very busy at Maker Central. Lots and lots of stalls, lots and lots of visitors. I was just chatting to somebody on one of the stalls who said that the show is bigger this year than it was last year, but it's also not just about DIY. There's all sorts of other things, crafts and other stalls selling other things. One of the interesting things is the amount of resin and epoxy stands there are. There's loads of them, absolutely loads of them, but there's great things for everybody to do. You can bring the family. You've got some kids here making some textiles. There's a Maker Central stand around there where the kids are putting together some sort of packets with electrical devices in them, like making their own sensors and stuff, so lots to do at the show. This was the IsoTunes stand. I got to try a pair on off camera, and I have to say they were very comfortable, very noise cancelling. I don't know if any of you have used them. If you have, please put a comment down below. It's something that I'm interested in potentially investing in. I know they're very popular with woodworkers, but they did feel very comfortable on the ear, which was nice. This is an interesting stall. This is Shadow Foam, which I know a lot of YouTubers have been using at the moment. It's a product that you can use to make cases. It's sort of a high density foam, very popular at the moment. I know recently a couple of YouTubers have made videos using it. So basically you buy the foam
I think Brad on Fix This Build That recently used shadow foam in a project that he did, and basically you get the foam and you cut it to fit any box or any size that you need. It comes in different thicknesses. Actually feels really nice quality, but again very popular at the moment. Just to give you a regular update on the Colin Furze stand, he's still here. It's now 11:55 and he's been stood here shaking hands with people since I got here at just 10 o'clock. So he must be knackered by now, but enthusiastic as ever. There he is. And he's actually got a great stand. There's loads of great stuff on his stand here. It's really, really nice. Just typical Furze all over. But nice to see some of the equipment that you've only seen in the YouTube videos, you know, actually up front. And the main thing you realise is the absolute quality they are made, with which they're made. It's just amazing. It's the famous screw tank, and over there the entrance to his tunnel.
Robots and robotics did feature quite heavily in the show this year, as well as quite a lot of stands with robotic things on it in particular, and obviously a lot of advanced robotic CNCs.
This is another fellow small YouTuber, Whittle by Whittle, great channel, well worth a look if you haven't seen it. These are the sort of stalls that make a Central great. It's the random shop, and it's got everything from clocks to shoes to gorillas on motorbikes, everything you can imagine. Yet another Colin Furze update. Still there, still meeting people. What a professional. What a professional. He's been meeting people all day long. He must be absolutely sick of smiling by now, but no. So this is one of the other stands that I came to visit, the Axminster stand. I just want to have a look at what they've got. So let's have a little wander around the stall, see what we can find. So interestingly, this is one of the products that I've come to look at, which is the portable router table, and as you can see, £229, and that is just for the table. It doesn't actually include the router, and it's made of the same sort of material they make toilet cubicles out of. I'm a bit surprised, to be honest, at that, because you can buy yourself an entire Lumberjack router table with the router included for pretty much the same price, and this is one of the things that I wanted to come and have a look at today, so a bit disappointed with that, I'm not going to lie. So there's the wood turning lathe, Axminster wood turning lathe. Actually all of their collection of wood turning lathes. I was hoping to see a few more of their other tools, to be honest. They've got the scroll saws. I'm not going to lie, a bit disappointed with the Axminster stall there. I thought they were going to have a lot more, but obviously not. It would have been nice to have seen some of their table saws or dust extraction, which is what I'm after. Apologies if the sound's pretty bad. We've got two zones going on at the same time. So another one of the stalls that I've come to look at, hopefully you can see over my shoulder, is the Bessie. If you've watched my two videos from America, you'll know that Bessie clamps features in both of those. So let's go and have a look on the stall, and I'll be interested to see how much they are compared to the same prices that I saw when I was in Lowe's and the Home Depot. Now obviously this is a show, so sometimes you get good deals so obviously this is a show, and sometimes you get good deals, and other times you don't get such good deals. As you can see, these big Bessie clamps here, the Vario body clamp, which are sort of their standard range, here on offer they're doing 150 for two, but the single one, which is the longer version, this is the 150, that's £85 each. The clamps actually seem quite expensive to me. What I'll do is I'll pop up a little comparison from Amazon, but I actually think that the clamps here are quite expensive. Their standard, their sort of bog standard normal sized F clamp is about £38 for a single clamp, which I think is quite a lot of money. The good thing is they've got a really, really good range. Pretty much every Bessie clamp you can think of is here, but again, you know, the cost, there's the clamp, the TG42K, which is a substantial clamp, don't get me wrong, it weighs a ton, but it's £38 for a single clamp. Here, these bench clamps are ones that you can use with, you know, plunge saws, so they have got the whole range. Again, these ones here. But even the Bessie scissors are £12, which I think is quite a lot of money. These duo clamps are really nice. I've seen these on quite a few projects. Really, really nice quality, very substantial in weight. But they have got the whole Bessie range. Here we've got the range of the Bessie bench clamps. One-handed clamp, this one is actually on a deal for the show, so £45 for two sets of clamps, so you get 4 clamps for £45, which actually for Bessie clamps is pretty good, but it's all plastic, and although they might be better made, they don't feel any different to me, to my Audi and Lidl clamps, to be honest. That's what you call a drill bit. That's massive.
So you can pilot the point.
And you can switch the centers, so you can have them.
That is the biggest Forstner bit I've ever seen in my life.
Separately over there.
So there's a company called Fabec. I think that's how you say it. Some really nice drill bits here, and some nice point cutters. Really, really good range. A lot of bigger, sort of more industrial sized drill bits here, which is quite good. They look really nice quality as well.
So as well as the stands where people were selling tools and things, there were also quite a lot of these sort of artisan sort of artists. I'm not sure if you can see it in this video, but he was sort of burning this in, and the detail in it was absolutely incredible. It was hugely impressive. As you can see, it's quite a crowd of people, but it was just amazing, and the end of that thing was glowing red hot. It was just fantastic to watch. This was the Dremel class using their new sort of little hand Dremel tool, which I tried to get into, but unfortunately it was just far too busy. There were a massive queue every time they came to sit people down. But I would have to say this was without a doubt the most bought product at this show. The amount of people I saw wandering around with these Dremel tools was incredible. They sold an absolute fortune of those on the day, and apparently it was a really, really good deal, so I can see why.
So it must have been a good hour since we've had a Colin Furze update, and I think the man himself has disappeared. So it's been about an hour, I think, since we've been here, and the man himself has disappeared. As you can see, he's probably gone for a little comfort break, but good on you, Colin. That was a shift you put in there. Well done.
This Make with the Maker Zone was absolutely fantastic. What a great idea. You just got an opportunity as a member of the public to just sit and work with the makers, and it was really popular all day. What a great idea.
This Airstream wooden covered caravan is absolutely amazing. It's so beautiful. You won't get across on here, but it's so amazing. Look inside, it's fully decked out with everything you would need it to be, and a wooden covered VW in front of it. The vintage tool shop's been really interesting actually. I've had a good old look around it, and there are some great tools in there. Some of them are sort of in the middle of restoration and need some more, some are completely restored, but what absolutely fantastic tools they have, and it just shows you how well made a lot of these tools are, that they've gone through that process, they've been completely refurbished and are still able to buy them and use them today.
I've left this piece of footage in. It is on time warp, so I hope it should go pretty quick. But it was the opportunity that I had. I just happened to be in the right place at the right time. They had a gap, and it was a forge, and Multi-Tool Products is the company. But I got the opportunity to take a piece of steel, as you can see there. Not great filming, sorry. I had to surreptitiously hide my GoPro inside my jacket. But I had an opportunity to make a nail. It was awful, of course, but it was a great experience. And actually, Brandon, who's the guy who was there, who's showing us what to do, was absolutely fantastic. And I did not realise how hard a work that is, bashing that steel. It took a long time. As I said, mine wasn't great, but it was a really good experience. Obviously not something that I'll ever get a chance to do again. So again, another really, really good thing about coming to a show like this.
So as well as the stands and all the stalls and everything you can buy from, there's also a main stage arena, and as you can see, this is Jimmy Director. There he is on stage. He's about to do a speech on using the how-to app. You also got a chance to meet Jimmy. And interestingly, Jimmy is filming. You can probably see he's got his GoPro out, probably filming for a video that's going to be on his channel. But he was at the Meet the Makers earlier, so he had an opportunity to go up and speak to him and, you know, get an autograph if you want to, shake his hand, take a photo. He's very generous with his time.
Hello, welcome.
Now he's going to talk about the how-to app
with Nick and Jimmy. Give it up.
I think I've got to mention there that was Nick Zametti with Jimmy on stage, but it's been about that time now where we need to go and have a check on the Colin Furze queue. And yep, it's back. Here it is. So that's the back of the queue to see Colin. This is the middle of the queue to see Colin. Very popular, isn't he? There he is. Obviously had his convenience break. There he is back pressing the flash again. He must be absolutely shattered by now. Okay, so thank you very much for watching the video. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope I've actually got some footage. Obviously I've been filming from the front of my GoPro, and I don't want to have one of those horror scenarios where I go home and there's nothing there. But if you have enjoyed the video, thank you very much for tuning in. I just wanted to give some sort of thoughts and reflections on it, really. I didn't really know what to expect when I came. There isn't a huge amount on their website, some highlights for last year, but you never really know. But I have to say, I found it absolutely fantastic. I came to look at tools made by Axminster and Lumberjack. Sadly, I didn't really see much from Axminster, but I got a chance to have a proper play around with the tools from Lumberjack. And I have to say I was impressed with the build quality in all of them. The one thing I am looking at is a router table, and although it is a lot of money, it really did look good. It was very sturdy, very powerful router that was in it, and it was actually quite quiet when it was running. So I think objective was achieved. And of course I got to meet some of the YouTubers, Stuart and Peter, just on the off chance they're watching this. Thank you both for giving me your time. It was absolutely fantastic, and gave me some really, really good tips about how to grow the channel and the importance of content creation. So thank you both for that. I hope you've enjoyed this week's video on the Garage Workshop. It's been something different. Please let me know in the comments if you found it useful, if you didn't enjoy it, and I obviously won't make this sort of content again, but I have really enjoyed being here. If you are a first visitor to the Garage Workshop, thank you for joining me for this video. Please subscribe, like and comment, and as one of the YouTubers just told me, once you get on that algorithm, you get a huge amount of extra subscribers. So if it is your first time, please like, comment and subscribe. If you are a regular viewer of the Garage Workshop, thank you so much for joining me, and please like and comment, particularly if you like this type of content or if it's something you'd like to see more of. So that's it until next week. We're back in the workshop next week, sadly, with another build. Have a fantastic week. Take care, fellow woodworkers. Bye bye.